Hello everyone, good day and welcome to my YouTube channel at Illumination Hub NG. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I drop any video. So today I'm going to be addressing a feedback I got from one of my students, and he sent me this question which I had to screenshot from the website, and I had to copy that here so that I can make some clarifications and also treat them the way I understand the question and the way it should go, and also compare this formula, this method with whatever method I'm going to be adopting. So here we're going to be looking at the algebraic and or simultaneous equation method, and also we're going to be looking at the continuous apportionment method. Okay, so let us go on because there's no time on our side. Looking at the question, the company, from what we were doing in summary, the company has two service department and also has two production department. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to apportion the cost incurred in the service department to the cost of production. Okay, so we were told in the question, if you look at the question very well, so let me try to zoom that to look at the question. So we have service department Y here. Service department Y has 7,260. So let us go ahead and do the working, convert to simultaneous equation immediately because I have just 15 minutes for this video. Okay, so select X. Okay, let the two service department be denoted as Y and Z. Okay, even though it was given in the question as Y and Z. So for Y, the total cost here is that we were told that we have $7,260 plus 30% is 0.30. 0.30 of what? Of Z. Okay. And for Z, we have 4,000, okay, plus 20% of Y. That's 0.20Y. So equation 1, equation 2. Okay. So the next thing is for us to rearrange this. Okay. So let's rearrange that. Let me just undo. So let's move on. Okay. So let me drag that a bit. Okay. So I can finish up. All right. So try as much as possible to finish up quickly. So let us rearrange this equation. So that will be Y. So when 0.30 positive comes down here, it becomes minus, okay, negative. Okay, that will be minus 0.30Z equals to 7,260. Okay, and when positive 0.20Y comes, also becomes negative. That is Z minus 0.20Y equals to 4,000. Okay, so you can go ahead and still rearrange this. Okay, so Y minus 0.30Z equals to 7,260. So this will now be minus 0.20Y. Okay, so when Z comes down here, it becomes minus, and when it comes back here, it becomes plus. That'll be plus 0.20Y equals to 4,000. Okay, so we have rearranged this. Okay, so let's just go back now and say, let me drag this and drag this up a bit so we can solve that. Okay, so let's move on. So we can call this equation 3 and equation 4. Okay, so this should be, so our next step is for us to eliminate either Y or Z. So let us say we want to eliminate okay, we have not finished. Have we done that? Okay, so we have done that. Okay, so we have 0.20 and 0.30Z. Okay, so 0.20 and 0.30Z. So let us say this should be, sorry, Z 0.20Y. This should be this should be Z, not Y, please. So this should be plus, okay, Z. Okay, so let this be let's multiply this by 1 and this, let's multiply this, multiply by 1 and multiply by 0.30. Okay, so we now have y, 1 times y equals to 1y minus 0.30z equals to 7,260. Okay, so 0.30 times 0.206 will give us 0.06y. This is minus 0.06y plus 0.30z equals to 0.30 times 4 will give us 1,200. Okay, so let's introduce the plus sign. Okay, plus 1, so this will be equation 5, equation 6. Okay, so plus 1y minus 0.06y, that will give us 1 minus 0.06, that's 0.94y. So this eliminated, minus times plus will give us minus. Okay, and the plus sign still comes down here, will give us 0 equals to 8,460. Okay, so y equals to 8,460 divided by 0.94. So let me use my calculator to get the figure. So that is 8,460 divided by 0.94. That will give us 9,000. Okay, so that is $9,000. So $9,000. Okay, so let's just go ahead now and continue with this. So we now look for the value of z. Okay, so z, so let's substitute for equation 1, that is substitute for y in equation 1. Okay, so equation 1 equals to y equals to 7,260 plus 0.300. Okay, so since our y equals to 9,000, that will be 9,000 equals to 7,260 plus 0.30z. So when 7,260 comes out, it becomes minus or negative, minus 7,260 equals to 0.30z. Okay, so this one should give us 1,740. If I'm right, then 9, 10, 8, 9. Okay, good. Equals to 0.30z. So in this case, z equals to 1740 divided by 0.3. So let us use the calculator. That was 1740 divided by 0.3. That is $5,800. Okay, so let's write that $5,800. We can see that in the question, y was 7260. 7260, because we have apportioned the cost in part of the cost incurred by service cost center Z, so it now became 9,000. Okay, and also Z was 4,000 initially. The total cost became 5,800, as you can see here. Okay, became 5,800 because part of the cost incurred by Department Y was apportioned to Z, meaning that this one increased by 1,800 and this one increased by 1,740. That's just what it means. It means, okay, that's why we have 9,000 and that is why we have 5,800. I hope that is understood. So let us move on. So the next thing for us now is that we have been able to apportion, okay, the service costs among each other. Okay, and the next thing is for us now to reapportion this cost to the production department. So let us go ahead and do that before the time elapses. So let us go ahead and see the cost, allocation, and apportionment sheet. Okay, so let us say we have production department A and B. So production department. So allocated cost Cost allocated, let us look at the value. The value of the allocated cost from what we have here. The value is from here is 12,000 and 16,000 respectively. 12,000 and 16,000, okay? 12,000 and 16,000. 12,000 is in dollar. 12,000 and 16,000, okay? So apportionment now. Let's apportionment, okay? So A was to receive, because we've already apportioned 30%, okay, already. So look at the question. Look at the question. So A is to receive 40%, okay? A is supposed to receive 40% and 40% for B. But out of the 100%, we have already given 20% to Department Z. So meaning that we have 80% left. Okay, 40 left, that's 80%. That will now be 40 over 80. 40 over, we're going to compare the difference with our results, with whatever they got there. Okay, 40 all over 80 times, that's for service cost center 1. So that's for Department Y, 40%, 40% of Y. So that is for Department Y. So we are sharing the cost of Department Y, and here Y is 9,000, okay? 9,000 naira total cost. So that was 40 over 80 times 9,000 over 80. So let us see if we can finish up before the time. 90,000. B is 40 over 80 times 90,000. Okay, so let's see the figure. 40 divided by 80 times 9,000. Sorry, 9,000. That's 45. Not 90,000. That's 45. So times 9,000. Okay. So 9,000. No, 90,000. 9,000. Okay, that's 45. A will receive 45, and B we also receive 4,500. You can see that the total cost of this service department, we have apportioned them 4545. We don't have any other percentage left. Okay, we now go to service cost center. For service cost center 1 now, this is service center Y. So for service center Z now, service center Z. So we're going to apportion to A and B in the ratio. Let's see the ratio. So time is almost up. So let's see the ratio, because I'm using 15 minutes. Okay, so we have 20, 50, 30. Okay, so for Z now we have 20, 50, 30. So 20 over 20, 50 is what we have left. We've already apportioned the 30%. Okay, so that will be 20 over 70 and 50 over 70. Okay, so let us go ahead and do that. That will be 20 all over 70 times 5,800 and 50 all over 70 times 5,800. So let's see the figure. So 20 divided by 70, okay, times 5,800. So we are left with 1,657 for A, 1,657 for A, and for B, that will be 50 divided by 70 times 5,800, okay, that's 4143. That is 4143. 4143, okay. So when we add this and this together, should give us 5,800. So let us go ahead and add everything up together to see the total cost, okay. So 12,000 plus 45 plus 1657. This is 18,157. 16,000 plus 4,500 plus 4,143. That should give us 24,643. 24,643 plus 18157. So total cost is for 2,800. Okay, total cost 4,2,800. So at the end of the day, we have 4,2,800 as total. total.